Facebook Live, what's up, guys? We are back. It's funny, the last time Austin did a Facebook Live was last time we did Facebook Live.
6 months ago.
So we're excited to be here. I'm going to share this on my other page, so hold on one second. And then we should be all set to go. But we're excited to, of course, add some value to you guys. And we're not going to be on too long, but we have some things that we've been talking about. We've all been in LA this last weekend, really diving in and masterminding and deep diving into how to go from 6 to 7 figures. Now, here's the thing. No matter where you're at right now, if you're not making 6 figures yet, this will help you get to 6 figures as fast as you want. If you're at 6 figures, this will help you get to 7 figures quicker than most people. So we're going to kind of dive in. But before I really dive in, I'm going to share this so we get everyone to check it out.
We're going to walk you through, as he's sharing that over there, we're going to walk you through a process. Specifically, as he was just saying, for those of you that are joining in as Facebook builds the audience up, we're going to walk you through how to either make your first 6 figures, or more importantly, if you're already making 6 figures, how to make 6 figures a month and how to do it consistently.
Yep.
And then we got a couple special gifts for you guys. We'll talk about what those are.
Oh, we can even dive in now. So I like doing this because it shows where everyone's from. So go ahead and comment below where you guys are watching from. Comment below where in the world you're watching this Facebook Live. It's crazy how technology's grown. We love hearing where you guys are watching from. Now, if you share below where you're watching from and you actually share this Facebook Live with your audience and spread the word, we're going to pick a winner today or tomorrow, and I'm going to send you a brand new copy signed of 6 Months to 6 Figures, Mark's book, Shorten the Gap, which is amazing as well. So we're going to send you signed copies. All you have to do is comment below where you're calling in from, and then share it. So if you share and comment, we want to spread the word. We want people really understanding the power of what's possible when you leverage technology, when you understand the principles and the strategies of how to go from 6 to 7 figures. And sadly, most people don't do it, not because they're not capable, it's because they don't have the right guidance. So we're going to walk through these. These are the principles and strategies that will never change. And then we're going to go through individual experiences on how we've all went from 6 figures a year to 6 figures a month. And obviously this is relevant to going to 7 figures a month as well. And we all know people that have made even 8 figures a month. We're not going to get to that high level today, but these principles are things that are going to be relevant 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 from now as well. So, and we've spent how long, real quick before you go, the last couple of weeks, how many hours have we spent talking about these things and sharing how to go from 7 figures? Probably 50 to 100 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just got off our Inner Circle event in Los Angeles, and this stuff is exactly what we worked all 27 of the members through over 6 months. And it was amazing to see their transformations going from hustling entrepreneur to successful CEO. And that's the same exact thing that we want to walk you through here today. And we have 16 items here, and we're going to actually walk through this checklist. You can download it right now. Go to peterjvoogd.com/7figures. That's peterjvoogd.com/7figures, so you can follow along with us and fill in notes. We've got everything here, but we're going to walk through some of our own experiences, especially the new stuff that we've been implementing and breaking this down for you step by step.
And we don't have a script. This is not scripted. We're going to be fully authentic. These are things that have helped each one of us. I want to shout out Colby and Nick, Chris from Arizona, Jordan, what's up, man? Art's in the house. Art's always learning.
Adam Shaw,
Simon
just jumped on.
What's up, guys? Brandy, Jay.
Always got to shout everybody out.
Joe, Sarah, Wesley,
Stephanie,
Brett.
you actually made it on time. Normally you always catch the end.
We promise you we will give a lot of value. We all pride ourselves. We are proud to give better value free than most people pay thousands for. So if we ever charge for something, it's going to be 100 times that value for you guys. So let's dive in, because we've all been there. Every single one of us has been frustrated and discouraged and felt like we're working all the time. Our schedule's running us versus us running and being in control of our schedule. So the first thing that you're huge on, we all are, is being a do-it-all versus a strategic delegator. I had Superman syndrome when I was an entrepreneur, when I was new.
Everybody did.
I felt like I had to do everything myself. And then what happened was all of a sudden I'm working 90 hours a week and I'm not getting the results I want, but I'm still like, I don't want to delegate to anybody. Everyone that we talked to that was already at 7 figures this weekend, they said that one of their biggest breakthroughs was delegating.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the power of delegating and how it can relate to you guys.
So there are a couple things that the wealthy leverage. Number one is OPT, other people's time. Delegation, getting out of your own way. You can muscle your way to your first 6 figures, right? You can muscle your way to a little bit of success, but then you hit this wall and you just continue to hit this wall. And this is the most common entrepreneurial wall that people hit, but you will not get to the next level. You will not get to 6 figures per month unless you master the art of delegation. There's a couple things that go into this, such as creating systems so that you can delegate it, because we often think, well, nobody can do it as quick as me or as good as me. If somebody can do it 70% as good as you, odds are that's well good enough. And we just got to kind of let go. Those 2 words have been so impactful for me the past 12 months, is just let go, delegate, hire amazing people, which we'll talk about a little bit because I've gone all in on the hiring piece, but just the mentality shift of trying to do it all yourself versus knowing that every time you say yes to doing something, you're saying no to doing something that's much higher leverage, all right? You as the CEO, as a successful 6 figures per month CEO, should be delegating much more than you're doing yourself.
I think the biggest mistake I see people make, at least when they're getting started and they're stuck at the 6-figure level, is the belief, not just that some people struggle with delegating because I can't trust others to do this, I'll do it better. The thing that I see more common than that is the belief that you can't afford to delegate. Yes, a lot of people say, hey, I can do it better. I don't trust these people. It's so important. I got to have my hands on everything. But I see more people say, I can't delegate because I can't afford to. I can't actually delegate the money to actually hire somebody. And so that's the change in the belief system that needs to happen, because there's so many ways that you can actually barter, defer payments, do performance basis, and pay somebody more money than they would have made after they get you the result. A lot of the times, entrepreneurs make the excuse that they can't afford to pay people and delegate, but that's a mindset belief. As long as you go out and start to realize, first of all, now is the most cost-efficient time in history to start a business. There's resources like Fancy Hands for literally a full-time assistant that you pay per project. There's Fiverr that you can get almost anything done for $5, from design work to copywriting to video work to video editing to pictures, etc. 99 Designs. There's, like, what are some other ones? You're a master at this.
Virtual Staff Finder, Upwork. The list goes on and on and on. Onlinejobs.ph.
There's so many. There's so many different resources. You just have the belief system that says, look, it's too expensive to delegate and outsource, so I'm going to try and do everything. But in reality, we were just spitting out some quick resources. We can even, maybe if you guys really like this stuff, tell us that you're enjoying this, and we can even comment in here. We can give you a ton of resources when we're done.
And it goes down to how bad they want it. Like some people, a lot of people that are at 6 figures, and I don't want you to do this, they wait till their back's against the wall. It's like, oh, my kids don't know who I am. I have to find a way. It's like, do it before that happens. Yeah. Before you're so busy that you can't actually get out of your business to be able to spend time with your kids. A lot of multimillionaires we know, it's crazy. The people that are the busiest, Mark, that I've seen are the ones that are at the low 6 figures. They're like, I got to do everything. Yeah. A lot of millionaires I know, they're traveling, they're skiing, everything is based off systems with the people that they hire. Here's something you have to understand.
I'll make a little point on that, because a lot of the times, and I'm sure Austin and Peter, probably I'm speaking for all of us here, get hit up and people say, look, I know you're so busy. And I think that the problem with people at the 6-figure a year level is they think that successful people are busy. Yes, are there times when we're busy? Very much so. But in reality, we are only protective of our time. And you think because you're at the 6-figure a year level that in order to be successful, I have to work harder. I must have to take on more projects and more opportunities. I must be so busy that I don't have time. And that's not the truth. In fact, whenever anyone says, Mark, look, I know you're busy, I go, actually, no, I'm really not that busy. I just don't respond to a lot of people that are trying to pull me out of my area of focus that makes me my money. And in reality, the people I'm paying, those are the ones that are busy, because it goes back to the first thing we just taught, delegate.
Yeah, 100%. So here's what I make a list. Things you shouldn't be doing, can't do, and don't want to do. You have to figure out what your time is worth per hour. You have to figure out, like, you have to value your time before anyone else can value. You have to respect your time before you expect others to respect it. So what I did is I made a list of everything I was doing, and if I didn't like doing it or I couldn't do it, or at a higher level, if I shouldn't be doing it, I delegated that. And like Austin said, 70, 80% of things that if they can do it 70 or 80% as good as you, delegate it, and especially if it's not a strength as well. So only you know what you need right now, delegation-wise, but you should not be doing things, A, that are below the level of what your income you think is worth an hour, B, if it's not a strength of yours, and C, if you hate doing it. It doesn't matter if you're making 30K a year or 300K. You got to get rid of those things to focus on your area of genius, which obviously is what's going to get you the best possible results.
Before we go to number 2, I'll leave you guys with a simple thing to ask yourself and to focus on. To summarize the whole delegation thing, find the products or the resources, the activities, any of the things that you're focused on right now that don't move the needle for you, that you shouldn't be doing because they're not your strengths. Find a way to outsource those. Find a way to get other people to do them on a performance basis, by bartering, by trading. There's so many different ways that you can pay somebody after they got you the results. So that's number 1. But the second thing I want to focus on is, I'm trying to remember what my train of thought was. You were talking about
your time per hour.
Time per hour. But I'm trying to remember what was
when he's trying to think of this, let us know in the comments. Have you already started delegating? Do you feel like that would be a game changer for you? If you already have, what's a breakthrough you've experienced when you've hired the right people and delegated? Because you have to understand, it's firing fast, hiring slow. Most people hire super fast and they fire really slow and they wait to fire. Oh, maybe they're going to turn around. Right. No, you got to hire fast if they're not the right person.
I remember what I was saying.
And hire slow, or fire fast, hire slow. Go ahead.
It was basically just to focus on your highest income and impact activities. And so you want to outsource all the things that are low income, low impact, trivial activities. And then you want to wake up and spend the first 4 hours of your day from about 8 a.m. to 12 or 9 to 1 on the highest income and impact activities, and outsource and delegate everything else. Don't wake up and check social media. Don't wake up and check emails. Don't wake up and be reacting to what the world is trying to do and take your time. Instead, wake up, be proactive, just focus on the things that are going to make you money and have an impact. That's the biggest mistake most people make, is they think being busy equals progress. And instead, progress is based on results. So we always preach, you don't have to focus on being busy for 18 hours. That doesn't mean you're making progress. We focus on getting results first. And the only way to do that is to focus on what makes money and what makes an impact.
Huge. Yeah. And real quick, just to bring this home, let's talk about an example. Not from Mark, not from Peter. Let's talk about an example from our inner circle. Ken Brokaw. Ken, if you're watching this, you're an awesome, awesome person. Ken is a rock star. 6 months ago, he had a wedding coming up. He was overwhelmed by some employee stuff. He had a couple of businesses. He had a lot of directions that he could have gone. He just mastered delegation. Now he automated 2 SaaS businesses. He got married, and he's building his personal brand in his new business, his impact business, which a lot of entrepreneurs move towards now. He's got a book coming out that's completely done. He's accomplished so much by actually just delegating. And the key thing, I've worked with so many people on this, is it's a little overwhelming to delegate. It's a little overwhelming to let go. Just start with one thing. Just this week, in the next 24 hours, figure out one thing. Maybe it's invoicing. Maybe it's responding to email. Just pick one thing and start delegating that, and you'll quickly see, guess what? Other people can do your job. You're not Superman at the end of the day. And as soon as you realize that, you're going to start the snowball of delegating more and more and more and being more comfortable with that.
Somebody was asking about the books that we were holding up earlier. You can hold up the other one. We're going to be giving out different books to everybody. So if you guys are tuned in with us and you share this, we're going to go back and we're going to look at who's been engaging with the comments and who actually shared. And then we're going to be sending you guys some copies of these books.
So number 2, that was just number 1.
That was number 1.
And these are things that have been fact-checked, things we've experienced. We all promised each other years ago that we weren't going to promote things and talk about things that we haven't experienced ourselves. Anyone can, and I see a lot of these newer entrepreneurs, me and Gerard Adams were just talking about this last week, that just are promoting everyone else's stuff, and they're bringing up things that maybe they read in the book, but they haven't actually experienced it. So everything we're talking about, we have experienced. And we've gone from broke to 6 to 7 figures with these exact tactics. So number 2, hustle versus habits. So of course there's hustle involved, but there's only a certain amount of sacrifice. And if you hustle and sacrifice the right way, and you build the systems, you leverage technology, you hire the right people, it's not about hustle anymore. It's about habits and systems and programs. And you're probably one of the best in the industry at systems and processes. But I think too many entrepreneurs are addicted to the hustle. And then what happens is, it's okay to hustle when you're 22, 23, 24, 25. But when you're 30, 32, and you have a family and you want to travel and see the world, and you want to lower your regret, you have to turn your hustle into systems and programs and hiring the right people. We've all done this. So what's your take on the importance of it?
The biggest difference for me between the word hustle, what's up,
BG? Billy?
The difference between hustle, the word hustle, and habits is short-term versus long-term. Like the biggest thing that you can do is figure out where you're going to be long-term and commit to that process. And as soon as you do, you shift your mindset from like fighting fires and doing everything right now, hustling 24/7, to building the proper habits. There's a couple words that really come up from the ultra wealthy that I've been talking to here recently. Productivity is one of them. Perseverance is another, and habits. And those three words are pretty boring at the end of the day, right? But if you master those three things, specifically habits, the right habits, ultimately, and keep that discipline, you're going to crush it. It's just, you're going to build this compound effect up, and it's just going to make some amazing things happen.
One of the best habits that I've developed is constantly making sure that every day, I usually do it in the morning because we're talking about habits, and habits I think have to do with repeating the same thing over and over again. And so I try to always pick a time in the morning, usually when I wake up, to just read for an hour. And it's one of those things where sometimes being healthy and just doing any kind of habit sounds easy, and talking about it and knowing it is not the easy part. It's doing it consistently that's the hard part for most people. We all know how to be healthy, but think about where your health is right now to kind of put a little agitation in your own life. Think about your own health. Are you as healthy as you could be? Do you work out as consistently as you could be? Do you eat as healthy as you could be? I don't. I'm going to just put it out there. And so hopefully you can acknowledge right now that you're probably also not reading as much as you should. One of the best habits is to improve your knowledge, your mindset, your skill set, because so many people have the same mindset and the same knowledge and skills, and they just keep repeating the same bullshit over and over and over again. And like Peter always says, I don't care if you say you have 20 years of experience if you've just been doing the same year over and over and over again. So many times I see people that don't read books all the time. They don't invest in themselves. And sometimes people do, though, and they become addicted to information, and they just get super spread thin, and they've read one book on every subject, and they've never mastered anything. So one, constant and never-ending improve yourself. You got to make sure that instead of hustling, you're just figuring out how to work smarter. Hustling is working hard. Developing the habits to get smarter is allowing you to work smarter so you can get better results without putting in the effort as much. And that's what I think is develop the habits to get smarter and surround yourself with people that can help you accelerate, 10 years of your life in 1 year.
Yes. I mean, I think seven-figure earners really know where they're going and what exactly they want. So whatever you want, you have to measure everything that comes to you against that, especially habits and leverage-wise. So for me, it's like I want freedom and autonomy. So when something comes across my inbox or desk, I say, is this going to contribute to my freedom or contaminate it? Period. If my number one is money, is this going to add to my profits or take it away? If your value is, you're worth $500 an hour, is this worth $500 an hour more or not? It's like so simple when you really understand the end result of that. And you said it perfectly. How you do anything is how you do everything. You are rarely going to find a seven-figure earner, multimillionaire. You're rarely going to find someone that isn't focused on personal growth and building systems and health. You see them at the gym in the morning. Almost everywhere I go that's success focused, like really nice hotels, there's always people working out. The lower end ones, there's not. Just the reality. But here's the deal. If you're cutting corners in your health, it's going to be easier to cut corners in your business. And it's going to be easier to cut corners in your relationships. So try and be world-class in every area and focus on leveraging systems and processes so you don't have to hustle 24/7. I think that's such a game changer for me. And motivation short-term. You can be motivated. We're not trying to motivate and inspire you right now. We're trying to give you the right philosophies and mindsets and habits to where after a seminar, people get all this motivation, they're fired up. What happens 2 weeks later? They're back to the same habits because most people don't train people on philosophy and habits and real tactics. That's what we want to give you guys as well. So have the right tactics. And if you have the right habits, you don't need motivation. We don't need motivation anymore. If I don't feel like working out in the morning, before I realize I don't feel like it, I'm already halfway to the gym because I've done it so much.
One of the best habits to wrap up the subject of hustling versus developing great habits, one of the best habits you can develop is studying other successful people who have the results you want in your health, in your relationships, in your business. So make it a habit of studying successful people's habits until you get to the point where your habit is teaching people how to develop those habits because your habit was studying those. And that's what we've done, is we've made it a habit to study so many books to learn what is the patterns, what are the habits that successful people have for healthy, wealthy life and relationships. So we're over here filming videos. We got videos on videos. So we'll transition to the next one, but develop the habit of studying successful people that have achieved the results you want. Learn what their habits are. Learn how their mindset is. Learn what their relationships are. Who do they surround themselves with? We're going to break down for you what a lot of those things are.
Think about it logically. Mark's, not close to 30 yet. You have $1 billion network. You're making 6 figures in a month. How is that possible? And then there's 35, 40-year-olds that are broke. It's because he spends all of his time making sure his future time is more valuable. So don't waste time. And the next one's a really good point to kind of transition in. But think about that. Age is irrelevant now. I've talked about this so much, but age means nothing. Experience means nothing. And where you're from means nothing. It used to. 20 years ago, it's like, how old are you? Oh, you're ready for success. You're 52 or you're 45. Now it's like 14, 17, 27. You're from a small town in Ohio that has more cows than people. It doesn't matter. You can be successful now because it's about network and the right habits, not experience. Right? Because Mark said it and I said it. People have 10, 20, 30 years. No, you have 1 year repeated 20 times because you're not getting better. You're not improving and innovating and adjusting and investing in yourself every year. So it's the same year.
So, Michael, giving you some shout outs. We got Frank on here. We got Michael. We got a lot of good people. Mike Yap was on here. Speaking of young people crushing it, Mike's making like 20. He was in our GCIC 1.0, and he's making $20,000, $30,000 in profit every single day from an e-commerce business that basically just feeds him the money.
Not month.
$20,000 to $30,000 a day. Not every month, every day. Do the math on what that equals. 20 to 30 grand a day on autopilot.
So much respect to you guys for listening. This is a random Wednesday. And you guys are here listening and investing in yourself. We promise if you're going to spend time with us right now, we're going to turn that into real results and real wisdom for you guys. Number 3, go ahead, Austin.
Number 3, yes, man versus no thanks. The favorite word right now should be no. If you say yes to other opportunities, guess what? You're on other people's agenda. If you say yes to opening your inbox, guess what? You're telling the world, hey, I don't have anything important to do. What do you need from me? You're on everybody else's radar, but you've got to have that perspective of really being protective of your time. And the number one thing that you can do to do that is say no thanks. And just say no thanks over and over and over again. Just knowing that every time you say yes, you're saying no to something more important. So say no 99% of the time.
Tatiana, what's up? And I saw Caitlin join on as well. We'll give some shout outs to people. So we're talking about right now, if you're just tuning in,
what's up, Frank?
We're going through, for people that are just tuning in right now, we're talking about how to go from 6 figures a year to 6 figures a month and how to do it consistently, not just have a flash in the pan, one successful month. Hold on, I got a little Zoom thing up here, got to push out of the way. So right now, specifically, one of the habits we're talking about is how to stop saying yes to every opportunity and everything that looks like it can make you money and start saying no. The reason why it's so important to say no is because you should be focused on 1 or 2 things that is going to move you in the progress of achieving the vision for your life and the vision for your business. Every time you say yes to something that's not an opportunity to move you in the direction of your goals for your life and your business, you're basically saying no to that. You're slowing that down and you're focusing on something else simply because of instant gratification. You think that by saying yes to something else, you might be able to get to the vision for your life and the vision for your business faster by saying yes to another opportunity. And I'm telling you, and we'll all agree here, that there's a 0.0001% chance that something is going to miraculously solve your problems, your money problems, your business problems, your life problems. The secret to a happy, healthy, successful life and business and relationships is longevity. It's not short term. So every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to the vision and the life you really want because you're not committed to it for the long term. You're just trying to get instant gratification. So every time you say no to something, you're redeeming, you're re-strengthening the fire and the fuel and the strength inside yourself to be committed to your vision. And when you're committed to your vision for your life and your business, the universe rewards you. Every time I say no to some opportunity or person, even if it seems exciting and cool, I am that much more committed to my vision. And so the secret here is start saying no. We had somebody in our GCIC Mastermind 1.0, and I told him to 100% commit for the next 30 days to say no to everything in his life and in his business that wasn't already in alignment with the vision for his life, his business, and his goals. So practice that. Let's make that a challenge and an invitation for all of you, and then tell us, message us what your results are. Start saying no to everything for the next 30 days if it doesn't support you in your vision for your business.
Huge. So what I do is, and the more you say yes, the more overwhelmed you get. A lot of you guys need to figure out right now, what do you need to stop saying yes to? Some of you guys are giving your services away. Some of you guys feel like you're letting people down if you say no. No, people will respect you more when you value your time. When you say no, they're gonna be like, wow, this guy's the real deal. He actually is serious about his business. So you really have to either have an assistant or have a filter system in play where you know exactly what's most important to you. Does it increase your reach? Does it increase your revenue? Whatever's most important to you, you need to make sure you either have an assistant or you have someone that checks off a list where if something comes your way, if it's a podcast, if it's a speaking opportunity, if it's a partnership, if it's a sponsorship deal, we get tons of these every single week. And if it doesn't hit all the criterias, then we say no. And some of them we could make, it could be a quick $10,000 for me. I still say no because I'm not in it for the quick money right now. You have to do things that are focused and aligned with your longer term vision, and make sure you don't take one-off projects if they're not relevant to the long term. Me and you have had some one-off projects come that could be pretty good money for us. And you're the one that has to remind us sometimes, hey, let's focus on the longer term. This could be potentially 7 and 8 figures in a year and a half. This is 25 grand now, but nothing after.
Exactly.
So, and that's different for everybody else. Figure out what stage you're at in your business, but don't be a yes man. In business, that'll kill your productivity. It'll kill your peace of mind. It'll give you a lot of frustration, and you're not going to be working in your strengths because you're saying yes to everybody. Tim Ferriss told me this 2 years ago, and it's crazy that he promoted my book, so much respect to Tim. He said, you have to be okay, and this was when I was responding to everybody. He goes, you have to be okay with not responding to people. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? I have to respond. He's like, no, you don't. And that was such a game changer because I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have to respond to every single person. And it's impossible. So be okay. Now respond to the right people, the ones that are prompt that you need, but you don't have to respond to everybody. People will appreciate that you're selective with your time as well. So say no more than you say yes. Number 4, vitality versus instant pleasure. And this is not just health. This is everything. We just kind of talked about it, so we won't talk too much because it's kind of similar to people want that instant pleasure right away. You need to focus on delayed gratification and doing things now that'll produce growth in your business in the future. A lot of people are doing things right now just to maintain their business, and they're treading their wheels. You want to do things now to produce growth in your business. And what I look for, and I can do a health analogy, is in the moment, should you eat that pizza or should you eat the salad? Should you choose growth or do what's easy? A lot of people do what's easy because it feels better in the moment, but the more you choose the easy decision, the tougher life gets and the more regret you have. So a lot of people these days, and I see a lot of people in their 20s make all the easy decisions. Party, drink, this, don't worry about working now, you're young. And then their 30s are really, really tough. A lot of people regret and do a lot of easy things in their 30s, and their 40s are tough.
That's why when you look at a Tony Robbins event, shout out to Tony Robbins, he's the man. But when you go to those events, they're all 40 and 50-year-olds. And he's trying to appeal to the millennials simply because he wants to stay relevant. But the issue I see is exactly what you just said. Too many people relax. I got to press this for the battery. Too many people in their 20s are just having fun, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that you can have fun, you can study, you can learn, you can build. And it goes back to what we were talking about. Number 2 is habits. Just develop the habits. It's not that you necessarily have to grind 18 hours in your 20s. It's just that you have to practice putting in the right habits. And we're going through what some of those are right now. And it's practicing having delayed gratification, which I'm terrible at. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say all these things.
Your honesty, though.
I'm not going to say all these things are easy to do.
So listen, so you're still making good money. So we're not saying you can't make money if you don't delay gratification. It just helps in your fulfillment as well. So obviously you're trying to get better at it.
I'm trying to get better. All of us are a work in progress. And that's the thing, is that we're sharing these with you, not saying that we're perfect and that we do these every day and we're robots, but instead we know what works. We want to share with you what works. And then we want to try to share it in an authentic way and say, look, we know this works. We're benefiting from it. That doesn't mean we're perfect. That doesn't mean sometimes we don't have the pizza over the salad, or sometimes we don't wake up and read a book. It just means that you need to be aware first of what the habits are and then do your best to practice them. I say just an hour a day will pave the way. 1 hour a day, being extra focused and aware on how to be happier, healthier, and wealthier, and taking action to do that makes it way easier to live a happy, healthy, wealthy life. Most people are just on autopilot. So just think about that. If you're anything like me, you want the shortcut. That's why my book and my company is called Shorten the Gap. I'm always trying to find the fastest way to get the results. Again, like I said, I want instant gratification too. And so with that being said, if 1 hour a day will pave the way to a happy, healthy, wealthy life, then if you're anything like me, I'm going to say, well, what will 5 hours a day do? What will 10 hours a day do? Will I get there faster? And that's it. 1 hour a day is how you start growing and building a happy, healthy, wealthy life.
Yeah. And for me, it's what I've been thinking about now this last year is, what can I do now that my future self will thank me for? And if you do that enough, you will be so proud and fulfilled and inspired about who you're becoming. Because now that the new year's coming, I want to say right now on January 1st, when I'm like, wow, a whole new year, what am I going to do now that on January 1st, I'll be like, Peter, thank you for sacrificing and not doing these things. Yep. Thank you for doing this and being healthier. Thank you for not making these easy decisions, because you want to be proud January 1st going into 2018. And most people, sadly, 2018 comes, they're like, oh, I didn't do as well 2017. 2018 is a whole new year. No, it's not. You're going to do the same thing you've been doing. The best way to predict someone's next 6 months of results is to look at their past 6 months. They're always like, I'm changing. Only if you really change your habits and you put different things in your mind like you're doing now, can you really change. But it's going to take a lot of focus and awareness of making sure that you have vitality versus instant pleasure as well, because I think slowly that gets a lot of people regret. If they focus so much on instant pleasure, eventually they have massive regret. And I just want you guys, if we could do anything for you guys today besides make you 7 figures and 6 figures a month, it's make sure that we lower your regret so you have no regret in a year, 2, 3, 5, 10 years. And this helps.
And real quick, that word vitality is very, very important and near and dear to my heart. When I was starting my first business, I was still in the corporate world.
You passed out.
Yeah.
This guy almost died.
I almost died twice. And
I shouldn't be laughing at this story.
Yeah, no, this is serious. So I was grinding. I was working a full-time job, building my business on the side, high-stress environment, trying to really just crush it and make it on my own. And I was doing it all myself. I was doing the exact opposite of everything that we've talked about so far. I was eating Costco burritos to save a few minutes here and there and really get the most out of my time. And guess what? My body shut down. I started having anxiety attacks. And here I was, college football player, ran some marathons, did some triathlons. I was supposed to be the healthiest person that I know. And guess what? My body was basically telling me that I can't go down that path. I have to focus on vitality. That hurt my thinking and focus. It hurt my energy. It hurt everything related to my business by me trying to cut corners on my vitality, on my health. It was hurting me so bad. Ultimately, I had to call 911 not once, but twice. I thought I was going to die for sure. And it was the worst period of my life. So now my diet is just on point. Everything is about vitality. It's about the long term. It's about taking care of yourself first and foremost. As an entrepreneur, it's one of the most important things that you can do, knowing that it's going to come back to your business, to your money, to your results tenfold.
100%. Show them your 6 pack. I'm just kidding. And that's a big one for me too. And when I ran a sales team, I made sure that the sales team understood the power of being healthy and focusing on vitality. And food should energize you, not take it away. Yeah. And here's what I'll tell you with health: it's the ultimate competitive advantage. Entrepreneurship is entrepreneurship. Sure. You can succeed without it, but if you add health in there and energy and vitality, you have a competitive advantage. Nothing tastes as good as health feels. And if you want to know the importance of health, go talk to someone who lost their health. That's how you'll know how important it is, right? Next, this is, I'll riff on this one, then we'll move on. This is something that I actually was a victim of, and I created this because I saw the trends, I saw what was happening, I saw my frustration, and it's mastery versus overload. There is such an incredible amount of information coming out right now. YouTube, audio, videos, podcasts. There's thousands of things coming up online every single second. And a lot of entrepreneurs, if they're stuck at 6 figures or below, they are addicted to personal growth and information, not results and outcomes. So millionaires and people at the 7, 8 figure level, they're addicted to execution and outcomes and results, not information. So I think there's this grass is greener mentality for people where it's like they read a book and then they're like, oh, well, I got to read another one. I got to go to another event, instead of executing what they've already learned and taking action on that. The reason why you're where you are, Mark, is you read, but you execute. You read and then actually take action on that. A lot of people trick themselves into thinking, well, I just need more personal growth. No, you need to execute what you've already learned and focus on mastering the information, not overloading yourself. I had a call. I was working with a lawyer up in the Seattle area, and he was starting his own another law firm. It's pretty successful. Wanted to get to 7 figures. He was paying me $2,000 or $3,000 for I think 2 calls a month, 1 or 2 calls, and there were 45-minute calls. Okay, let me just put this lesson into play for you. After 7 minutes of one of our calls, he says, "I'm done. I got enough of what I need. I'm gonna hang up." And I'm like, "Your call's 45 minutes." And I was thinking it. He's like, "Yeah, I already got what I needed." So he has the outcome mindset. He's paying $1,500 to $2,000 for 45 minutes. What do most 6-figure earners do? They say, "I got 45 or 41 more minutes. That's my full value." No, it's not about the minutes. It's about the outcome. So I challenge you from here on out. It's not about the information. It's about executing the right content that is most relevant to your end result, to your vision, and to what your end goal is. Because I know people, Mark, right now, tell me if I'm wrong. I know people that study like crazy and they read every book possible and they're at every event, but they're broke.
100%. He was giving me like street cred. He was like, "Yo, you study, but you take action." But in reality, the reason why we met was because I was taking action. But before that, for years, I was addicted to reading books and attending events. I was that guy. I was the guy that was always at the event, taking notes, and I always felt like I need one more event. I need one more book. I need one more thing. And it wasn't until I just started taking action on what I already had learned from all the events and all the books and all the live streams and all the YouTube videos. It wasn't until I took action that I started to actually get results. So you have to remember, results come from action, not from information. And so when you're searching for the next piece of advice, the next information, the next event, just remember that you probably already have what you need. You're just not taking action. And so I am the same person that used to just massively consume content and used to do information over action, and I never mastered anything. And so putting that out there, that I used to be in that situation and speaking from experience, all of the information I consumed meant nothing. It was only when I took action that I actually got results. And then I realized, wait a minute, now I never go to events anymore because I don't get anything out of an event. You honestly, like, you just waste your time. You should be in mastermind groups and you should be reading books. Go straight to the source.
Super select.
Go straight to the source and get yourself in a mastermind group and then read books every single day.
But not just reading any books.
Read what you need.
Read what you need. JIT, just-in-time learning. That's the best learning methodology right now. For instance, I'll go on sprints. I'll go on a 45-day sprint to really master one topic. I'll read 4 books on that particular topic, create a process with it, and then move on to the next one. I'm not just reading just to read. I'm very, very focused on what I'm doing and ultimately creating my own curriculum.
Yep. So we're talking about going from 6 figures a year to 6 figures a month. Be strategic and intentional in every single thing you do. From this moment forward, make sure that if you're reading something else, you've already taken action on the previous. Make sure if you're reading something, it's the best possible content on that subject. Make sure if you're reading something, you know the author is the real deal. Like a cat. My cat's going to write a book. You going to read that? Anyone can write a book these days. You have to understand that. But you want to make sure you're reading books from people that have gotten real results that are world class. And to be very frank, certain things about this industry I really don't like. In my book, I talk about master versus overload. And someone had the audacity, 2 different times, a pretty big name that you might have heard of, say, "Peter, you know when you talk about mastery, you're going to lose sales because you're telling people not to buy your stuff." I'm like, I don't care. I don't really care about that. I care that they actually get real results. So I'm taking a chance telling you, you don't need to buy a bunch of different things. Buy the right thing that you feel is most relevant to your vision, that feels right, whether it's a mastermind, whether it's a specific event. Like, I haven't gone to many events, but if I go to an event, I'm speaking, or I really know it's the best possible event for the subject I want. Just don't be random. Too many people are random with their personal growth. Be strategic and intentional. Every one of us was random when we were frustrated. Now we're strategic and we're not frustrated. So it goes hand in hand. So this one's big. You're big on this one too. So the next one.
Win-win versus win.
Number 6.
The master partnerships. Talk about it.
For creating win-wins?
Yeah, for partnerships and leveraging other people's capital. And
okay, so I'll start it off with a bank analogy, which I think is one of the best, simplest ways to just sort of articulate to people how I see networking. And my phone's getting low here.
Thank you, charging.
So yeah, a lot of the times I see people that I think a lot of us have just been conditioned to believe that networking is going to an event to try to find people to connect with so that you can find the best people to get something from.
Yeah.
I'm going to collect business cards, but in reality, it's hoping that these people can give me something in the future. Or I'm looking for somebody that I can ultimately get business from. And so networking or reaching out, I get messages all the time, as Austin and Peter do, with people asking me for something. They're always trying to get something. They're trying to create a win situation for themselves instead of a win-win. So the networking analogy for the bank is, if you went into a bank and you said, I would like to, people got noise coming upstairs. If you went to a bank and you said, I'd like to get a withdrawal from this account, and they said, Peter, you don't have an account with us here. You've never made any deposits. What are you trying to get a withdrawal from? They would think that you're insane, and securities in the company is going to kick you out. And so think of relationships as bank accounts. How dare you walk up to somebody and try to make a withdrawal if you've never first made a deposit? And so that's when we're talking about win-win situations. Look at people that way. And I have some people that are like, oh, so you look at people like bank accounts like their money? It's not about that. You're taking the analogy the wrong way if that's how you're perceiving this. I'm talking about looking at relationships always from a perspective first of what I can give. And if you can't find somebody that you can add value to, then it's probably the wrong person. If you first look at individuals and you find the right people that you can add value to. Like when I first found Peter, all we did was constantly see who could give to the other person more. It was like, hey, Peter, I'm gonna give this value to you, and he'd be like, oh no, you didn't. I'm gonna give you more value. And it was always kind of like seeing who could give more value. Those are the people, those are the relationships you want in your life, where it's always a win-win. If you're gonna do something for me, oh, you know how to play the game. I'm gonna do something for you. And so too many times people are looking for how they can get, and only if they get, then they will give. You know what that sounds a lot like? The 9-to-5 mentality. The reason why people have jobs is because the reason why so many people are stuck in jobs is because of this mentality. People are stuck in jobs because they will only do the work if they know they will get a paycheck. What's the first conversation you have when you go to a job? What am I going to get? What's my benefits? What's my salary? Not how can I give the most value? Who's the audience? Who's the prospects? Who's the customers and clients? And can I add as much value as possible? If you go into a job in that position, you should just quit because you're an entrepreneur. The people are stuck in jobs because they're always looking for what they can get first. Then they'll talk about what they can give. And entrepreneurs like us are focused always on how we can give first, and know that if we give value and results first, the money will always come.
100%. I mean, that's it. Kevin Eastman, the vice president of the Clippers, who's a good friend of mine, says he gives for a year, doesn't expect anything. You want to be known as a giver, not a taker. And to be honest, it's not about giving and then saying, what can I get back? It's just about being genuine and giving your gifts. The more you give, the more you get in return. So it's such a game changer creating those situations where they're win-win situations for you and the person on the other side.
And you can tell when somebody actually wants something out of it. They're going to act like they're going to give, but you have to be genuine. You mentioned the key word there. And really it starts, again, as always, with the mindset shift. Just think years down the line that you're creating a relationship with this person for the next 5, 10, 20, 50 years. And if you just take that perspective, then you're building a relationship instead of having a transaction, right?
Stacy, shout out. I see a lot of cool people jumping on here. What's up, everybody?
What's
Appreciate
up,
you. Michael, thanks for staying on with us. Stacy, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Gonna have a fun day together. I'm reading what Michael's saying here. Michael, you've been sticking with us from the beginning, brother. I appreciate you. A lot of people always jump in and jump out, but you've been riding the wave.
That's my Ohio boy. What's up, Michael? All right, number 7. We've already talked a little bit about this, so let's move on to number 8. But number 7 is busyness versus effectiveness. At the end of the day, it's not about the time, it's about the results. So really, really, really focus on that. And I think evaluate yourself of, are you just being busy? Or are you actually being effective? Those are very, very different words. Number 8, let's talk a little bit about this. Skills versus sourcing. All this stuff is really in some way, shape, or form related, right? So to get to the first level, to get to 6 figures, you need to have some type of value that you're giving. You need some type of skills. But to get to the next level, as we talked about, you need to use leverage. One of those points of leverage is OPT, other people's time, mainly through hiring. And hiring is something, I've done a lot of studies on this because I was a horrible hirer. I was like most people in most businesses where I was batting about 20 to 25%. That's the average that most entrepreneurs and businesses. That means 20 to 25% of the people that you actually hire and think are going to be amazing actually turn out to be good. 20 to 25%. But the best companies, the best entrepreneurs get that percentage up to 90%. So how do you do that? How do you find amazing people? How do you validate them? Peter.
So first of all, you have to know exactly what you want out of the person. You say it too. You don't really want to hire another entrepreneur if it's a task type role where they need to be systemized and consistent, because entrepreneurs are kind of in their own world, right? Hard to keep track of. Also, you want to make sure you make them jump through loops. So for us, we not only make them jump through loops. Here's an example. You want to put, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's an ad, whether it's Facebook, Craigslist, you want to put at the bottom, can you please respond to this ad with a paragraph on why you feel like you are the best fit for this position. Now, off the top, it's funny, I laugh, 60% will not respond with the actual paragraph. Yeah. So now you know they don't follow directions. So you don't want that. From those 40% that actually followed through, then you make them jump through another loop. You make them take a test that's relevant to whatever business you're in. So there's CBI with us, there's Myers-Briggs, there's Colby, there's a ton of them. So you figure out which test, so you know they have the right skills and core values that are relevant to that, and then you continue to make them jump through loops and make sure they're the right person. Then you put them on trial periods to still prove themselves. I just think the biggest thing for me is don't hire based off words and don't hire based off just experience. Because people will tell you, I've been in thousands and thousands and thousands of interviews. And every interview I've ever been in, tell me if I'm wrong, or you guys, they tell me exactly what I want to hear, and they sound like the perfect fit. If I've done 6,000 interviews, all 6,000 people sounded perfect. So then I realized, wait, this is definitely not accurate.
Yeah.
Right. So I had to hire the ones based on who they were, based on their core values, based on their past results and experience, and not just what they told me. So just be selective and put people on trial periods to make them kind of prove themselves first. And if you can do that, I mean, you're going to find the right people. It's not easy. It takes a while. The more you focus on the back end and really being selective, the better they'll be. I just think too many people, they wait too long to hire, then they hire fast, and then they have the wrong person.
Yeah, it's the opposite. Shout out to Michelle real quick. She said she's watching on 3 devices right now, just in case one drops off. So shout out to you. What's up, Karen, Megan? We got a lot of people joining on here still. Appreciate you guys for sticking with us. For anyone just joining in, we're talking about how to go from 6 figures a year to 6 figures a month. And Ash actually asked a great question. I'm sure some people who are still sticking with us, when we were talking about the importance of building win-win relationships where you actually give value first instead of trying to find a way to get something first, Ash asked a great question. And his question was, what if you give, and it's the wrong person because they're just always trying to take? And that's a great question. Stop giving to that person. It's very easy. It's so funny how many people actually ask that question. They go, what if I give, and I never actually get anything back? Well, 2 things. 1, are you giving because it's unconditional love, like your children or a spouse or whoever or a friend? That's different. If you're giving unconditionally, then you're never expecting anything back, and you shouldn't be expecting anything back. Like when I give to my friends, to prospects, to random people on the street, when I give, I'm never expecting anything back. But it is obvious where if there is a relationship, like Peter and I, when we first met each other, I would give value to him, he'd give it right back. I liked hot potato, I'd toss it to him, here's some value, he'd throw it right back. Instantly, I know that's the type of relationship that 3 years later, we're great friends and business partners because of that relationship. It's symbiotic. I give to him, he gives back. He's not expecting, I'm not expecting, but the point is it comes back. And so if you're giving value to somebody and it never comes back your way in a business context or relationship, it's very simple. Stop giving to that person. So now we're going to move back on.
Yep. So positioning versus prospecting. This is such a game changer. And anyone that you've seen that is at a higher level, that is very well known, that's crushing it in entrepreneurship, business, is a founder that's crushing it, whatever. They're positioned in the industry as an authority and people know them. So people are coming to them versus them chasing people. We have an academy. We have really never marketed our academy, and you guys don't really see advertising because people come to us because we're positioned. So you're either chasing people and you're putting your stuff out there and trying to find clients, or they're coming to you. So I think being able to position yourself, knowing your messaging, knowing who you're helping, knowing your audience's deepest fears, and putting out such amazing content and not needing people. I don't know if it was you guys or someone else that talked about leveraging having leverage in your business where you don't need people, they need you. Funny story, my grandma was asking me about a speech I was giving. And she goes, how much are they paying you? And I said, $15,000. And just, I mean, I didn't think about how crazy that is to my grandma.
Just
who worked at Nabisco for like $3 an hour, right?
Wow.
Back in the day. And she's like, 15? I'm like, yeah, that's what I said I wanted. She goes, but what if they said no? I'm like, man, I don't care. It doesn't affect my life at all.
Yeah.
Nothing will change if they say no or yes.
Yeah.
Versus maybe like, okay, I'll go 10, I'll go 5. Oh, you want to have leverage. So whatever you can do to get from 6 figures a year to 6 figures a month, you got to create leverage in your business and make your product or your service so good that people want it. You don't need them. They want your service. So when someone asks you, and if I ask this question to 100 entrepreneurs, maybe 3 or 4 can answer it. I say, why should I do business with you versus any and every other business that does what you do? Most are like, well, we have integrity. So does everyone else. Well, we're fast. So does everyone else. You have to have very concrete, tactical, real, factual answers of why they should do business with you versus anyone else. So try to find a way to position yourself. Gary Vaynerchuk, Tim Ferriss, Grant Cardone, they're positioned as the best at what they do, so people will come to them versus them having to chase people. I'm not saying don't put out marketing and don't chase, but if the product's good enough, people will want it.
Absolutely. Working with hundreds upon hundreds of authors. I don't care if they're a New York Times bestselling author or just starting out. I always started with one single activity, and that was their positioning.
Yeah.
Because the way that the world views you impacts everything that you do down the line. A lot of people want to start with Facebook ads, or they want to start with something from a marketing perspective, or start with sales, but none of that stuff matters because you really want to sell people before they even get to you. How do you do that? Through proper positioning. So positioning versus prospecting is number 10. But let's go back to number 9 real quick and talk about questionable versus calculated. And this one is, again, very near and dear to my heart. My first business was an investing business. My background is in engineering. I love the numbers. And what we always look at are what the numbers are saying. Yes, we have an opinion on what we think is going to work or what we feel is right. But at the end of the day, go back to the numbers. If you let the numbers make your decisions for you, you're going to take off so much of your stress. And guess what? You're going to get a heck of a lot more results. So calculated decisions versus questionable or making it yourself. We test everything, whether it be a book title, a cover, something related to a new program that we're coming out, what our landing page is going to say, what kind of hook we're using, what testimonials we're going to use. On down the list, we test, A/B test everything that we can to make very calculated decisions that'll change the game for you.
And talking about, to finish that one up as we move on to the next one, questions versus being calculated. A billionaire friend of mine says he never makes an important decision in any emotional state and never makes any important decision without asking all of the people that he looks at as trusted advisors and friends and business colleagues. So just think about that. If you have an important decision to make, just remember those 2 things. If it's a very important decision that will alter your business, your life, etc., never make an important decision in an emotional state. Always ground yourself, and then always get other people's feedback and input.
Yep. And real quick reminder, 2 things. If you just got on the last 5 or 10 minutes, if you comment where you're watching from, and if you share this feed, I'm going to pick a winner and send you a signed copy of 6 Months, 6 Figures and Mark.
We're giving away free books. So if you guys do us a favor and you found value in this so far, even just from one tip, and you've been riding with us, or you're just tuning in and watching the replay, we're giving away free books even after this. So if you're watching the replay, we're going to be promoting this all over the place. Get some free books.
And also, if you want this blueprint that we created based on the 16, wow, I thought there was 14, 16 of the key strategies you need with some fill in the blanks so you can kind of take action here. It's peterjvoogd.com/7figures. Team created it. peterjvoogd.com/7figures. And there's no hidden, you get the PDF right away. So let's go to the next one. Passion versus greatness. Following your passion is causing a lot of people a lot of grief and frustration and discouragement.
You want me to get started on that? You want me to get started on this? Because this grinds my gears. You talk about something that upsets you.
Is that from Family Guy? Peter Griffin?
Yeah. This really grinds my gears. This is where we're going to have a TV show. What grinds my gears? And what grinds my gears is so many people, young and older, they always have been told to follow their passions and the money will come. Follow your passions and, you know, life will be great and splendid. But in reality, a billionaire friend of mine said it well. He said, I was going to drop an F-bomb, but I won't in case there's anybody tuned in. But he basically said, F following your passions, the money will not come. Do you know how many people follow their passions and are dead broke, that follow their passion in music and never made it, follow their passion in sports, never made it, follow their passions in anything really and never made it? So the thing that I like to focus on is we're talking about passion versus greatness. Yes, if you become great at something, you'll be successful. But here's another one. It's instead of going after your passions, you haven't earned the right to do that from a money perspective, to have that feed your family. Here's what you do. You find trends and opportunities that are not flash in the pans like fidget spinners or anything like that, or riding the cryptocurrency wave in hopes that you can make a bunch of money right now because everyone's doing it. Here's what I'm talking about when I talk about capitalizing on a trend and an opportunity. Something like social media. It's been around for years. It's probably not going anywhere. And there's people, I don't know, 2 billion people on Facebook, 2 billion people on Facebook that just use social media to just talk and to waste time and to watch cat videos. And then there's people like us that use social media to reach millions of people to add value. So there's a trend, and it's called social media, and it's going to last for a very long time. It's made Mark Zuckerberg worth $55 billion in his 30s, and it allows us to not only add value and impact millions, but to also go from 6 figures a year to 6 figures a month by leveraging social media to basically do everything we're talking about in here. And that's to add value. And that's to build a world-class life and business built on impact. So passion versus greatness, I say get great at recognizing opportunities and trends and capitalizing on them, make the money, have the impact, and then go and do your passions. I'm sorry, but
I agree.
When I started, this wasn't something that I was necessarily passionate about. I just kept asking, what's the life that I want to have? What's the vision that God and the universe is using me to create? And I realized that it was to be a coach, consultant, author, speaker, online marketer, and to leverage social media, a trend and an opportunity that may or may not be around for the next 20 years, but it's here now and it's been around for a while. So don't go after your passions. Focus on trends and opportunities that aren't short-term, that are long-term, that you can jump in on, get great at, make money, then go after your passions.
He said 2 things extremely valuable. I want you guys to conceptualize, and I hope you caught these. One is, it's not about following your passion. Follow your results. Follow your results, because when you get results, when you have experience and you become good at something, what happens to your confidence and what happens to your mindset? You're like, oh, I love this, right?
What happens when you follow your passion is you don't get results and you get frustrated, and then you no longer become passionate. How many of you are good at things that you suck at? Are you passionate about things that you suck at, that you're terrible at? Probably not. Most of us are not like, my favorite thing to do in the world is the thing that I'm the worst at. So don't go after your passions. Focus on something that's going to create the life, the fulfillment, the relationships, the experiences, the memories, the financial freedom and time freedom that you want. And that's usually getting really great at something. And for us, it's becoming the best version of ourselves, building businesses, capitalizing on opportunities and trends, making money, adding value, and then we can go and focus on our passions.
And the second thing you said that was brilliant that I want you guys to catch is, it's about what's most important to you and using different vehicles to get to that end result. If your end result is to have an amazing and inspiring lifestyle with your family and create an influence and just be someone that is a world-class human being, but you don't want any money issues, you don't want a boss, and you want to live life on your terms, there's 7,000 ways to get there, right? You don't need to follow just your passion, follow your results, because it's about the end result that you want for yourself. It's also about enjoying the journey along the way. Don't get so obsessed with the end result, you forget to enjoy the journey. I know people that I've coached, that I've helped, where they get to their end result and they've made their 3 million and they have a great lifestyle, but they're not fulfilled.
Right.
It's like, wait, this is exactly what you wanted. I know, but now I haven't. I don't really want it. So that's why being strategic is so important. Art, what's up, Art? He's on the Academy. He says, I can't deposit passion in the bank, but I can deposit a check. 100% true.
That's the truth.
You can't really bring your passion to the bank. And once again, guys, we're dealing in reality here because there's too much fluff out there. I know people that are extremely passionate but frustrated and broke. I also know broke geniuses. It's not about just information. It's not about just passion. It's about putting everything that we're talking about together for a worthy cause that's most relevant to what you really want based on your values. His values are different than his values that are different than mine. but we all know what our values are, and we make sure that we're aligned in that. So align with people who align with you, and use different vehicles to get to your end result along the way. And I don't see a lot of people doing this. They're so focused on listening to the gurus say, follow your passion, that they keep working on things, and then they don't like their passion, like you said. Then they eventually give up and settle and get a normal job.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to do that if you follow your results as well. So such a game changer.
Good stuff. Number 12 is instinct versus emotion. I don't care if you're making $1 a month, 6 figures per month, or 10K per month, 7 figures. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be a journey of this, ups and downs, ups and downs. Every single day is going to be a journey of ups and downs, ups and downs. So it's not a matter like a lot of people say, oh, once I become a millionaire or once I build a 7-figure business, then those problems are gone. Everything's good. No, you still have the problems. You still have the ups and downs. You are just hopefully much better at managing them.
They're just more expensive problems.
Yeah, exactly. But you also get much more capable of managing them because you're not emotional about it. If you let this wave impact you, guess what? You're not going to be an entrepreneur, and that's okay. There's 80% of the people out there in the world that are not made to be entrepreneurs. But you're watching this probably because you're that 20%. Because you're capable of riding the waves and building it up and ultimately following your instincts, your gut, that you really build this natural ability to figure out what's right and what's wrong in your business and with your day-to-day decision makings instead of following emotions. Because if you do that, you'll burn out, you'll drive yourself crazy, you'll hate your life, you'll hate the journey, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, is enjoying the journey to ultimately get to your dream life and keep that dream life going.
100%. What's up, Jay Weeks? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, Justin's on here.
We got Brian, we got John. What's up, guys?
We have a lot of game changers. We have like 5 or 6 people from the inner circle.
Yeah, we got a lot of people on here. We got Frank too. Michelle, you're still riding with us. Appreciate it.
What's up, guys?
Frank, it's that entrepreneur roller coaster.
Glad you're getting some value. So what he's saying is, yes, follow your gut, but just start making decisions and analyzing your decisions. Because if you make a decision when you're in a bad mood or when you're frustrated or discouraged, it's almost always the wrong decision.
Basically, to summarize instinct versus emotion, what we're really saying is instinct is how you feel about something. Emotion is feeling something and then having that alter how you think about something. So instinct is how I feel about something. Emotion is I'm feeling something, and that's determining how I'm thinking about something.
Yep, 100%. So there's like 5 or 6 more. We're going to go through 2 more quickly, and then we'll do some Q&A, and we got some exciting things to talk about. So interested versus committed. Once again, we're going to keep the theme of 6 figures a year, which these days isn't much. Yeah. When I wrote the book 6 Months, 6 Figures, when I made 6 figures, I'm like, this is a lot. I was a young kid. It's not much. Especially living in California.
Middle class. 6 figures is middle class.
Living in California, it's like you made 10 grand. Just with how expensive it is down here. But the reality is, it's about being committed regardless how tough it gets. So interested is, yeah, I'll do it when it's convenient. I'll do it when it feels good. I'll do it when I feel like it, when I'm healthy. And committed is, I'll do it by any means necessary, no matter what, until I make it happen. Yeah. And a lot of millionaires and people making 6 figures a month, they're committed until the end result happens. A lot of people in society that want success, they're interested until it gets tough or until everyone doubts them. Yeah. Right? And then they stop. So I just think you have to be committed. So what are you going to do to sell yourself on the entrepreneur journey? What are you going to do to make sure that no matter what happens, you're committed to building a life and a business on your terms? It's not technically about 6 figures a month. That's just something we share with you to really understand the power of these tactics. It's about building a life that you're proud of. And how you do that is making sure you're committed to it, not interested.
And one of the ways that I stay committed over being interested is we're talking about the entrepreneurial journey and the ups and the downs that come not only with life, but also I think are amplified as soon as you become an entrepreneur. The ups and the downs are even more up and down. And so one of the ways that I help stay committed over being interested is by asking powerful questions. And so maybe they have a couple that they ask themselves, but one of the most powerful questions that I ask myself in times when the roller coaster is going down, it's easy to ask yourself empowering questions when the roller coaster is going up. Woo! But when the roller coaster is going down, that's when we always ask disempowering questions, questions that limit the way we think and the way we feel.
Am I really made for this?
Am I really made for this? Another disempowering question that people have is, why is this happening to me, instead of why is this happening for me? And so that is one of the best questions that you can ask when you're going down and when you're having adversity, which is guaranteed in life and it's guaranteed in business. You are going to have a down moment, and probably many on the journey of entrepreneurship and life. And when you're going down, remember that. Why is this happening for me? What is the universe trying to show me in this adversity? What is the gift hidden within this challenge and this problem? What is the opportunity that's hidden within the shell of this problem? And so when you ask yourself empowering questions in down moments, it helps you focus on ways to get out. A lot of the times challenges are really opportunities. A lot of the times problems are really gifts, opportunities to grow. And so just remember that while we're talking about the ups and the downs of entrepreneurship, ask yourself powerful questions. Interested versus committed. I stay committed by asking myself powerful questions. And Peter was saying, sometimes when you're down, it's hard to stay committed. You want to give up. Don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, why is this happening for me? And you'll find powerful gifts and messages hidden within that to steer yourself in the direction of staying committed.
I think the only people that don't have problems are the people in cemeteries. Everyone has problems. You have to understand that. Just how you deal with them determines what happens next.
It's good. I interviewed over 100 successful investors and entrepreneurs in my book, or for my podcast at the time, that turned into a book. And what I did was break down their journeys, because at the end of the day, they all had the same simple steps. There's 10 steps that they took. And that first one is a decision. At some point, they made a decision. And once you make a decision, you make a commitment. And once you commit, then you can get into motion. You don't necessarily have to know what's going to happen, steps like A to Z. Just know what's going to happen, steps A and B maybe. And then guess what's going to become clear? Steps C, D, E, F. It's all going to become clear. But it all starts with a commitment. It all starts with a decision. I don't care if you hit rock bottom and need to make that decision. Hopefully you're watching this so that we can spur you into motion if you haven't already made that commitment in your mind. But that's what it all starts with, all right?
Come on.
One more?
Yeah, we have some special guests too. The
special guests, the girls.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, geez.
What up? Hey, guys. You guys are all on FaceTime.
Yep.
Facebook Live.
No scripts. This is authentic. So we'll do the last one, and one that I think made the biggest difference for me. The whole purpose of business. I was at a Tony Robbins Business Mastery event in 2012. You guys none of you guys are looking at us right now. You guys got to get out the scene, or they're just going to stare at you guys.
Focus.
Okay. All right.
So we're going to wait because you guys are not focused on us. They're prettier than we are.
We're going to go to Panera Bread.
Frank says hi to both of you.
Hi, Frank.
That's awesome.
Okay, bye.
The inner circle knows the family.
Yep.
Oh, it's like all the inner circle on there?
A lot of them.
They'll be coming back. Now they're going to be good.
Okay.
We got to finish this. So one of the biggest ones, they probably want to hear from you guys. All right, we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Okay.
All right. So here's the deal. I was at a Tony Robbins event. It cost me $10,000, and it was a very private business mastery event, kind of like a broken off from that, like a little mastermind. And they spent 4 days talking about business, but at the end he goes, this is all that really matters. Nothing else matters in business. And I'm telling you guys, if you can, and I'm glad some of you guys stayed on for this long, if you can understand this, you have the key to business. It's not easy, but it's the key and it's valuable. You have to create, the whole purpose of business is to create raving fans who love what you do, who are dedicated to what you do, who will share what you do and be a loyal ride or die fan for you, period. It's not easy to create, but a lot of people have followers and supporters. So let me share this, then we'll kind of dive into what we want to talk about too and then answer questions. The biggest key is you have to ask yourself, how do I get the people that follow me to become a follower, to become a supporter, and then a real fan? Anyone can get a follower. If you share something online, if you share a video or give someone value, they're a follower of yours. That's great. Everyone has followers. That means nothing. To get them from a follower to a supporter, you have to add consistent value and be consistent in the marketplace on different platforms. A lot of people, you see their Twitter, they haven't posted for 3 weeks, or their Instagram is like once every month. No, you got to be consistent or you won't attract supporters. To get them from supporting to believing in you, you have to be fully authentic, consistent, and they have to know you have their best interests in mind. Now, here's where most people stop. They stop right there. If you want raving fans, and the key to 7 and 8 figures for you is turning them from supporters to raving fans, which is getting them a real result. If you can get people a real result, you have the key to millions the rest of your life. My podcast for free gets people real results. I have hundreds upon hundreds of emails saying a result is a real result, not a feeling. A feeling's great, but anyone can get someone a feeling. They could just tell them something in the moment, show them a song. That's not going to get a raving fan. A result is I lost 7 pounds. Yeah. I quit my job. I made $2,000 online. I have a new friend now because of what you said. I got rid of a toxic person. Now I have a better network. If you can create raving fans and give people real results, they will never leave you. Some of you guys are on here right now watching Mark, me, and Austin because we got you a real result. Now, when you get to the next level, you're getting people substantial results and they'll never forget you. Now, in order to get people results, you have to become results focused and be someone that's attractive enough and valuable enough to where you actually have value to give. So if you're new in business, maybe you have to give your service for free, but if you can get someone a result, they will pay you if you're good enough. And that's the key to success in this new economy, is adding value to the marketplace.
One of the simplest ways we were talking about get people results and they'll become raving fans. One of the biggest competitive advantages you can have is whether you're just getting started or whether you've been in business for a while. One of your best competitive advantages is saying that if we don't get you these results that you've invested in, that you've paid for, then we'll give you a full refund. When you can make
people are too scared.
The customer, the prospect, your client, your partners, when you can make them feel absolutely confident that they have no risk or very little risk, and that you're willing to, because you're so confident, you're willing to take the risk, all of the risk, most of the risk in the transaction, that's how you will get people to open up to give you their money, because people want results. Nowadays, there's so many individuals online and businesses trying to get your attention, trying to take your money. So the best way to build raving fans is to get them results, and the best way to get people to pay you for results, if you know you can get them results, is to say, I'll take all the risk in the transaction. If we don't get you those results, I'll give you a full refund. So many individuals nowadays online that say, look, buy my program and get these results, and then I'll give you a refund. No, you need to make your primary value proposition, your primary unique strategic position in your marketplace. We guarantee results, or you get your money back. Yep. You have no risk.
This forces you to level up.
It forces you to
master your craft and your skill. I mean, there's nothing else to it. So you guys that are new to business, there's like Mark talked about at the event, if you have a social media agency, so does everybody else. Everyone and their mom has a social media agency.
My grandma has a social media agency. Like, come on. Like, what are you going to do to stand out?
How are you going to be the 1% of social media agencies, because everyone has one now. You can create one just by saying you have one. How are you going to be the 1%, actually get people real results and give those results to them risk-free and say, hey, if I don't get you the results, get your money back. In our academy, everything we do is results focused. You don't think it's 100 times the value, we will give you a full refund. And everything else. You can download everything you want, full refund, because we believe so much in those results as well. So,
and one last difference between going after followers or fans and raving fans is telling people what they want to hear versus also telling them specifically what they need to hear. The reason why between us three we have so many raving fans is we cut out the BS and we tell people what truly matters, because, like we've said so many times, it's all about results. And people will maybe be a little offended at first. Maybe they'll be like, wait, I'm paying you money. You can't talk to me like that. But once you start getting them your results, they're not going to care the way that you communicate with them. They just want you to further push them. They're paying you for that result. So remember that and kind of get away. So I was in the corporate world, and it took me actually 2 years before I got rid of the corporate voice and actually told people what they needed to hear. And that's been such a relief for me, and it's been such a big impact on the other people that we've served.
Love it. So we don't know why you're here. We don't know your situation.
They're here for the book. They're here for the free book.
We'd love to have you share kind of your situation and your story, because our number one focus is making sure that we create game changers and we create stories and testimonials and help people become leaders so they can create other leaders, and we can shift this culture with all this negativity out there. So I don't know why you're here. Maybe you feel like your ambition doesn't match your bank account. Maybe you feel like you don't have the right guidance. You want to level up your network. Maybe you feel like your blog or your business is not making the money you deserve, and you just need the oomph and the guidance. So everything we do is with leverage and focused on making sure we find the right people. So we wanted to do something special for you guys, and no sales, by the way. This isn't like, hey, buy this, but here's the reality. We just got done with GCIC Part 1, Game Changers Inner Circle Part 1. We rented a mansion up in LA in the Hollywood Hills, and it was amazing. The testimonials were nuts. We have GCIC Part 2 that was supposed to open tomorrow for applications. You can't guarantee anything. It's not for everybody, but this will kind of give you instantly the connections, the mentoring, and the hands-on coaching you need to grow it to 7 figures. So we kind of take all these things and implement them into your business. So if you want to learn more and apply, once again, it's not for everybody, but if you have that hunger and drive and you really want to get around heavy hitters and game changers and have all of our resources, all of our network, and all of our mindsets working for you in your business to almost solidify and guarantee the best 6 months you've ever had. Yep. I think we have 7 or 8 Game Changer Inner Circle members here. Russell just got on, Justin. So you guys can share what your experience was. But this is not about doubling and tripling your income, because that's a guarantee. It's about having a lifelong friendship with a network of people that are really looking to level up their game. Yep. I don't know the website, to be honest. Austin knows it. But by the way, we're going to open it we're opening it just to tell you guys. No one else really knows about it. We're opening it tomorrow to all of our networks. We're probably, how many applications do you think we'll get, Mark?
2,000.
2,000 applications.
For 30 spots.
Yeah, there's only 30 spots.
Plus,
actually, it's
we're
like
gonna,
23.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to have 7 people, maybe 10 roll over from the Inner Circle 1.0, but the link is GameChangersInnerCircle.com/apply. That's GameChangersInnerCircle.com/apply. Go check it out. See a little bit of what it's about. But we do have a lot of people here from the Inner Circle that are in 1.0. So guys, if you guys are in Inner Circle 1.0, go ahead and just comment what your experience has been so far. Yeah. We still have a little time left, but this is really the launching pad to where we're going to go next. But we've got so many success stories from this. Get 30 amazing, smart entrepreneurs together and just watch the magic happen.
It's a game changer, man. And our number one focus, by the way, was giving you value. So if you're not going to apply and it's not for you and you already have all the success you want, you're already making 7 figures, I hope you got some value and enjoyed yourself and you really were able to take some of these tactics and use them. And I challenge you, by the way, to make sure that you pick 1 or 2 things that we talked about and then execute those. Forget everything else. Don't overwhelm yourself. Pick one thing and go all in on that until the next. But if you feel like you don't have the network you need, if you feel like you're alone and you don't have people that relate to you, if you feel like your vision is so big but you don't have a proven roadmap and you want to hang with us in LA, in an infinity pool, we rented a yacht. It was amazing. We went on the ocean. Yeah. But if you feel like it's for you, apply. Once again, we can't guarantee anything, but you can connect with us and our team. We'll review your application. We'll see if it's a good fit for you, and then you can apply it and see what happens. But we're excited for the future. Our number one focus, we wanted to get together because we all have different strengths, different skills, different experiences. We want to bring all that to a group that's serious, because most people say they're serious, but they're really not. Most people say they want to succeed. Most people don't. And most people want level 10 success. They want a level 10 network. They want level 10 income, but they have a level 4 habit, or they have level 4 networks. We want to make sure everything in your life is aligned to where nothing's holding you back and you're going all in. Because at some point in someone's successful's life, you ask them, when did you go all in? Anyone is successful. You ask them that. They remember the time where they go, you know what? I was 27, I went all in. This moment, I went all in. Most people that are struggling, if you ask them when they went all in, here's what they say: oh, I haven't yet. And they never tell themselves now matters. Right now matters more than any other moment in your life, because what you do now determines what happens tomorrow. If you maximize today, tomorrow is exceptional. If you maximize this week, the whole month's exceptional. If you maximize your months, the years are amazing. We just want to help you on the path to success, to speed it up, to cut your learning curve in half, and to make sure you get the success you want. And the whole purpose of life is to live life on your terms, your own way. And I just can't stand how most people aren't living on their terms. So, I mean, that's what it's about. So let's do if you guys have any questions, so we can hang out.
Yeah, we got a couple comments here. Justin Weeks, just an amazing person. Justin, if you're still watching, he says life-changing. All right. Frank in Inner Circle 1.0 as well says, the experience has been the best mastermind by far, and it has given me so much clarity. Totally the best investment this year.
And these are people that have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars
different stuff,
in different stuff over the course of maybe 10 years as an entrepreneur. And they're saying that ours is the best thing ever. It's always better. Yeah, we got Russell over here. It's always better when other people speak about the experience than the people who created it. So we really appreciate you guys for shouting this out. We know that not everyone from the GCIC was on here yet. But
Russell said, priceless investment, value, value, value. Nothing else compares to GCIC for focus, growth, and clarity. 100% committed. Love it. And we've all been in masterminds, and I want to be the blunt one, as I always am, because I think the best way to be is just fully blunt and transparent. I've been in a lot of masterminds, and some of them are good. We made sure that we took all the weaknesses, all the strengths, everything that we could possibly think of to make sure it's the best experience for the people that we accept, to make sure we exceed expectations 1,000 times. So there's not going to be a question. If there's 5 masterminds that you're looking at, you can apply to all of them. This is the one that will get you the real results, the best networking, the fastest. I have a lot of guest speakers talking to you guys. Grant Cardone's coming up. Tim Ferriss. You have some billionaires coming up.
We're giving you guys access to billionaires where you're not just listening to them on stage. You're actually sitting down with them and looking at them and having a conversation with them and asking them whatever you want, and they're going to give you feedback about whatever questions you have for billionaires, for top guys like Grant Cardone, John Asseroff. So we're giving you access to our whole network. Anyone who was in the GCIC 1.0 with us for the first mastermind knows we hold nothing back for the 6 months. And then we cap it off with a little cherry, and we go on a yacht and in a limo and at a mansion. We have a private chef, and we have a great time. So a couple people were asking for the link.
Game Changers,
give one more time.
Innercircle.com/apply. That's GameChangersInnerCircle.com/apply. We'll put it up in the comments here as we end. But let's get into some questions for sure. But before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that are included in the mastermind. We've got monthly calls with us where you have some time on the hot seat going deep into your one specific thing. What's that one big challenge? And at the end of the day, we're working with really smart individuals that you not only learn from other people's questions and challenges as we give their answers, but also you get that specific direction that you need so that you can go off and running. You don't necessarily need to have a million questions to take advantage of your hot seat. All that you really need is one big relationship, one big idea, one big connection, one big perspective shift, one real good tactic. And guess what? The investment is going to more than tenfold pay for itself. So the Hot Seat Mastermind sessions, the live event that we end with is absolutely priceless. We just had such a blast last week with the Inner Circle members. We've got millionaire mentor calls. We've got billionaire mentor calls as well, where we do private trainings every single month as well. We've got high-end accountability, which we just kicked off, which is so exciting. We all need accountability. Mark needs accountability. Peter needs accountability. I need it. You need it as well. We've got a private Facebook community. What else do we have? We have a private email support. We've got Voxers.
Access to all our resources, everything. Shout out to
We don't want to sell. We're going to stop talking about it.
Yeah.
If you think it's for you, go to GameChangersInnerCircle.com/apply.
It's a no-brainer. I'll tell you that.
I'm excited. So let's do
Frank's still on here trying to. Frank's just so excited.
I've had a couple people say they're just ready to go take action and execute. Yeah, if you guys don't have questions, that's a good thing. We want you guys to go take action on what you've already learned. And thank you for checking out my book. Alicia, I appreciate it. The mixtape is fire. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And guys, we're here to serve you. Our number one focus is to make sure we give as much value to you as possible, because this is the takeover. We want to be the leading authority for giving you the right information to help you become game changers, to help you elevate your network, your peace of mind, your fulfillment, your income, your relationships, and everything else.
Yep.
And for me, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror when you're 80 and make sure you tell yourself, I have no regrets. I did it my way. I built a great lifestyle. I'm proud of what I built. I have a legacy I built for my family, because I don't want you to have regret in your eyes when you're 80 like most people. I want you guys to be fulfilled and excited about life and move with purpose and intention in all you do. So everyone that shared, I appreciate you. If you guys are watching the replay, thank you so much. From the bottom of our heart, we appreciate your time, and we hope you got some value. If you need anything, let us know. And that's it.
Yeah, have a good night, guys, wherever you're at in the world. The books are for whoever shared.